Hi, and welcome back to Technology Wizard. So today we're going to be looking at a bit of MSX machine language, so assembly, however you like to say it. So we're going to be looking at just changing the foreground, the background, and the border color. So let's have a look at doing this today. So I'm going to copy and paste our routines that we need. As you can see, we've got the change mode for the screen, mode, and then they've got the change clear, which essentially puts you and saves everything. So it puts everything into the respective foreground, background, border, etc. So we're going to start the program off fairly simple. We're going to start the address for our program. So we're just going to start it at D000. Right, so we've got our address D000, and then we're going to start by the execution label, which is start, and then we're going to need an end label as well. So this is how we end the program. So we've got end start. This tells the program to start executing the program at the start label and then end it at the end and then start again from the start, essentially. So it's the end and then going back to the start. Now we've got everything set up that we need for our program. We're going to start popping our contents in there. All right, let's begin. Making everything smoother. Let's start with our tutorial, which we're going to load the accumulator. We'll go with 1. We'll pop that into change mode, so that's essentially turning the screen mode into the graphics mode 1. We've got loading accumulator with 1. We're putting that into the graphics mode 1, so essentially switching on graphics mode 1. Then next we're going to load the accumulator with the value 12. And we're going to pop that into, so we're loading, and then we're going to pop that in to our foreground color, which is 4 clear. And yep, so essentially what that does is we put the value of 12 into the accumulator, then we put the accumulator into the foreground color, which is 12 is dark green. So that's in decimal. Then we're going to continue. We're going to load the accumulator with a value of 6. And then we're going to store it back into our background color, which is back clear, and we do that again. So here we got putting the value 6 into the accumulator, then the accumulator into the background color. And we're going to continue on. We're loading the value. I'll go 7, which is cyan. And we'll pop that into the border, do that into the brackets. So we've got 7 into the accumulator, and then the accumulator into the border color. And then to bring this all together, we're just going to call change clear, sorry. And then we go ret, which is a return from subroutine. It's essentially like in 6510, it's essentially the RTS return to subroutine. And then we're going to mark the end label there. So we've got that all done. And if we go run, as you can see, we've got the foreground, which is green. Then we've got the background, which is red. And then we've got the border, which is cyan. All right, so that's essentially the basics of your first assembly program in MSX. We've got the different BIOS routines there. We've got loading into the accumulator, how to store into an address as we've got there as well, and calling things, which is the same, say 6510. Which would be like your JSR, jump to subroutine. In MSX, it's essentially a little different from there, and you use a call routine, which we'll get into a lot afterwards. And then you got the ret, which is your return, essentially brings you back to basic, just as RTS would, making sure you're not getting stuck in loops or anything like that. But that's the basics and how you change your screen colors and the screen mode as well. So that's the basics of it. Hopefully you liked this lesson. It's a short lesson, but hopefully one that would help you in your journey into Z80. So I have recently gone from 6510 to Z80, learning the things of the Z80. I've been doing 6510 for a while now, and it is getting used to. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for your patience during the time that I've been away. But yes, I am back, and please leave a comment and subscribe if you would like to see more content.